Welcome to my channel. In the first video, I mentioned that the task 2 is really a test as to whether you can think in English. Let me explain what I mean by that. To write the essay, really you have to be 3 people. You have to be a king, you have to be a queen, and you have to be a minister. What I mean by that is the king generates the ideas, the queen organizes the ideas, the minister expresses those ideas in sentences and paragraphs. If any one of those 3 elements is not there or is weak, well, it's pretty hard to write the essay. Now, one of these 3 elements is one that is largely neglected in the training for the task 2 in IELTS. Which one do you think it is? Yeah, I know you know right away probably. It's the king. The king is very weak in most of the training that students undergo when they're trying to get ready for the test. I'm not going to blame the teachers or the students. Nobody's to blame. I think it's just because this part, the king's part, is something that's very, very difficult to work on. What most teachers do is they pretty much skip on to the queen's work very quickly without really exploring what is involved in the king's work, which is the generation of ideas. Why? Well, it's something that maybe is a little bit hard to do in a classroom because there's a lot of back and forth and to and fro which probably has to exist between the teacher and the student. It's a bit like, well, the teacher's a bit like a doctor or midwife delivering a baby. We don't really know what the baby's going to look like, and it's the mother that has to deliver the baby, not the doctor. And in this case, it's the student that has to write the essay. And we don't really know what the essay is going to look like, but the doctor has to be there with the baby and the teacher has to be there with the student to encourage them and make sure that nothing goes wrong while they're training to write the essay. Let's put it that way. The king, yeah. What makes a good king? Well, a king is obviously confident. King owns the territory. He owns the whole kingdom. He can walk up to the parapet on his castle and look over the whole kingdom and know that he owns everything. And that's the attitude that you should have when you're approaching a topic for an essay. You've got to be a strong king. You've got to look over the territory and relax and have a calm mind. My suggestion is, if you're really nervous, if you're a little bit scared, take a deep breath and try to bring your energy down so you're not too excited. And then at that point, you should be looking at the kingdom of the topic in a way that you're not afraid of anything. Don't make a rash judgment on whether you want to go this way or that way or yes or no on a particular question. In other words, invite any kind of idea into your mind. Positive, negative, big idea, small idea. In other words, the king who rules the whole kingdom should be that kind of person in that state of mind. Otherwise, they can't really be the king. And it's the same thing when you are approaching your topic. So the first thing I've got to say in this video is the generation of ideas is a very, very important thing if you want to write a really good essay. That's all I have to say in this video. Until that time.